For the better part of a month, the supply chain providing meat to U.S. consumers has been coping with the impact of COVID-19. With close to half of the nation's slaughter capacity closed or greatly reduced, consumers are left with purchase limits and limited choice at the meat counter. For producers, many are left with the task of euthanizing perfectly healthy animals because there's nowhere to take them for processing.
We were scheduled to have our barn empty by May 5th. We got a little pushback, in scheduling. It seemed like it took forever to kind of get loads lined up. And then when we did have it lined up, they were canceled occasionally. But we lucked out as far as being able to get them out and gone. Barns cleaned out and we restocked again. And that would be the pigs that then Jake took control of.
Brad and Jacob Benda are a father and son team working on a multi-family operation in east central Iowa. They farm around 2,800 acres and raise close to 5,000 hogs annually.
The packer notified us that, they're not going to be able to guarantee the numbers that our contract that we have with them for shackle space. We were basically had loads scheduled. They would get canceled or pushed back, rescheduled to other days. What normally would take about 3 weeks to clean out a 1,200 head building took about just shy of 6 weeks.
Packing plants continued to close due to coronavirus outbreaks among their employees, causing a bottleneck for livestock producers trying to get their animals to market.
And it was everyday phone calls to the buyer. Can we get a load in this week? Can we get 2 loads in this week? Can we get any loads in this week?
Time was against Benda and other producers like them. While packers could not take hogs, producers had nowhere to send the contracted animals, as new pigs were on the way to fill barns that were already at maximum capacity.
And so that awful realization of if you had to actually euthanize pigs to, get to be able to take that next group of babies coming in, or you would try and find somewhere to put them for temporary holding. There's so many different things that you can do, and then ultimately, if none of that can be found, then you'd have to euthanize the animal.
In an effort to avoid culling part of his herd, Jacob Benda turned to social media as another avenue to sell his animals.
I was telling Dad, it's what if I put out there that, this is where we're at, kind of be vulnerable as a producer, and, say we're in a tight spot, we're going to try and, if there's any interest in these pigs, they're not at market price because, in our co-op, we have a cost of production and that's what it costs us. And, a couple dollars of feed, and we need to try and move these. So
what happened next astounded the Bendas.
It blew up, just went crazy. It started off with, friends sharing, and then friends of friends shared it, and the friends of the friends of the friends that shared it, and within, I believe, 2 days, it was over a couple thousand shares. And then as of, I think, yesterday, it was 21 or 21,500 shares. I got calls or messages from everywhere: Florida, Ohio, South Carolina, California, everywhere. Can you ship me a pig? So just blew up.
The social media post ended up moving a portion of Benda's inventory, helping them avoid the possibility of having to euthanize pigs.
We've got rid of about 30% of the feeder pigs that we had. If I was able to go through and actually respond to everybody on Facebook, I would have that building, that 1,200 head building, sold over probably twice.
But even with the success found in an unlikely arena, the operation still has hurdles to jump over as the coronavirus continues to rewrite normal for agriculture.
We're out for maximum production in our sow unit. So to scale that back prematurely would be a bad deal, So I think it's just a moment by moment, month by month kind of decision going forward on whether or not this does return to normal, or if normal will ever be reached.
This week, the USDA unveiled a $16 billion aid package aimed at assisting livestock producers like the Bendas who are affected by processing plant closures due to the coronavirus.
What the president offers is going to help out a lot, because you still have commitments, short-term feed bills to pay, stuff like that. But yet I also hope that that there is something sorted out that they can get this packing plants back up to 100%.
For Market to Market, I'm John Torpy.